This is Gemara in Makkkos, Daf Yomi Clear, and all the learning has been dedicated as an incredible zchos. Refuah Shalema for Tinok Miriam Ahuva, B'Soich Sha'ar, Chayli Yisrael, B'Siyat Deshmaya, Refuah Shalema, Gemura. We are holding on Yudzayin Mebeis. We are 6 lines from the bottom. It says the Gemara, Kasha on Rav Shimon, Chimazhirim in Adin. Based on that which we just said, and yes, a little bit of an intricate and difficult Gemara, but asks the Gemara and Rav Shimon, is it true? Chimazirim min adin, based on logic, based on adin, are you able to create a azara, a iser daraisa? Asks the Gemara, afilu man damar ayin shem min adin. Even the shita that hold them in adin from svara, from logic, kal v'chaimer, could create a chiyav einshim punishments, but that shita holds ein basirim in adin. But you can't create isurim through that such. So how could it be that based on what Rav Shimon that we just said, that it would come out that there would be azharim in adin, that the azhara, that the isur daraisa would be being derived from psukim in the Torah? Says the Gemara, Yisura Ba'alma, explains the Gemara, I should say, Yisura Ba'alma, that you're right, we're not based on this Kal V'Chomer, learning an Isra Da'araisa, but rather, says the Gemara, we learn out from the Kal V'Chomer, we learn that there's an Isra, but you're right, we're not really learning that it's an Isra Da'araisa, that it's a full-fledged pasuk like we learned prior, but rather we are learning that it is just merely aser. Ask the Gemara, but wait, 3 lines to the bottom, Zar Shaicham in Ha'ila, if a Zar eats from a carbon oil of Neizrika, Chotz L'chaima, there are Shemin like a Chamish. According to Rav Shimon, there's 5 Malkis, it was Chotz L'Yushalayim, it was Kaidem the Zrika, he was a non-Kohen, he was out of the Beis HaMikdash, and an Ayla of course is Kula all goes up to Shemayim. How are you allowed to eat it? So says the Gemara, what do we see? We see that even when it comes to that from a Kal V'Chomer, we can learn out that there's going to be 5 different Isurim. So we see that Azhara could yes be learned min adin. Answers the Gemara, Chamisha Isurin Havoi. No, there are 5 different Isurim. It's not learning it out min adin. We're not learning it from a Kal V'Chomer. Ask the Gemara, but we learned the following again, Malchus, and therefore the Mishnah seems to indicate Mamish Malchus. But according to Rav Shimon, if it's just being learned out from the Kal V'Chomer, then of course you would not be able to give a proper Malchus. So says the Gemara, as we turn over to Yudches Amid Aleph, Ella, rather, we are forced to say that Kra Yisera, it's an extra pasuk. So says the Gemara, really these psukim are indeed extra. And that's why we can learn them out that each one is a separate malchus. Mechti. Ksiv Avisa Sham, you should bring it there. That's what the Torah says. And therefore we can ask, we can't eat anymore. Why did it go and explain specifically in the mannerism that it did? Mehader, mefarish behu, Rachmana lamli. Why did the Torah have to do chazara? Why did the Torah have to repeat it? Ella, you know why? The lave. You know why the Torah repeated it? To create and assign that there is indeed a lav. L'kol echad v'chad. So proves the Gemara that there will be a separate Issa Daraisa for each part of the action. Continues the Gemara Gufa. Let's go a little bit deeper. Amar Rava, Zar Shechem in Oila, Zar that eats from a carbon oil of Neizrika, Chotz L'Chaima, outside of the walls of Yerushalayim. Rav Shimon, like we just said, like Chamesh, asked the Gemara, but wait, Lil Kinami, Misham, why is he not giving Malchus because of Zar L'Echal Ki Yodesh Heim? Answers the Gemara, Ani L'Echal D'Lekoyahani Chazi. Hacha, but in our case, L'Chani Nami L'Chazi, then Eina Chanami, there'll be a separate lav, it'll be a separate lav, that's what you get 5. Says the Gemara, but wait, look, Nami, why don't we get Malkkos Misham, Mubasar Vesada, Treifa, Loisaichlu. Says the Gemara, Kimichiata Basar, Chotza V'chitzasai, once the flesh, the meat, leave its confined walls, Nesar, it becomes Aser. But the Gemara now comes along and is Mugdar and puts us into the specific scenario that Hani Mili says the Gemara, Hecha de Bifnim Chazu. You cannot see them at all, individual beams, or the way that it's situated, then Nami to Rav Elazar, then we would indeed hold like Rav Elazar. What's Rav Elazar? The last line of Yechesam and Aleph Damar Rav Elazar, Loichal, Loi Yochel Ki Kodeshem. Don't eat because it is Kodesh. Why does the Torah explicate Ki Kodeshim? So we turn over to Yechesam Beis and says the Gemara, Kol Shabbat Kodesh Pasal, anything that it is possible to eat of Kachim, anything that's within the confines of Kachim is going to be Aser. But because of Litin Loisas, the Torah writes an explicit Loisas immediately to teach us. Hey, Chadei Kadim Psulai, where the Psul comes first. Chazi, Hacha de Kidom Psulai, first, it was not Vikashas, first it was the Paslos Nami, says the Gemara, then Nami Loi. Continues the Gemara, Velokai Nami, Hachli Kadam Posulai Nami Lochazi Loki Nami. Ki Edach Rav Elazar, the Tanya, Rav Elazar Aimer Kolshu, Bechlil Tiyah, Litain Lo Yosase Achilasai. We give an extra lesson on the eating. Says the Gemara, Enach Nami. It's true. For Rabbanon, what are the Rabbanon going to respond? Mehaikra Kamar. What's the pasuk of Rav Yudam Rav? Koyin shachal mechatas v'asham. Koyin eats of the chatas of the asham and the zerika before the zerika. What's the halacha? Like it. My time, Damer Kram teaches the Torah of Achlu Shesama Asher Koifim Behem Lachar Kapara. Then in yes Levnei Kapara Loi. Ask the Gemara, Salavan and Bechal, to say the Asalav who you could do it. So therefore, says the Gemara, that's how the Psukim would seem to indicate. But the Gemara is not finished. An animal chooses God, etc., and it does not express signs of being a female. The halacha is Oisa Tzaychelu, Oisa Tzaychlu. Says the Gemara, you could only eat Oisa, but not. You can only eat Oisa, but in a behema acher sechelu. V'ika the Kamrid. Now the Gemara explains as Zulay Zachlu Lamali. Why do you need that pasuk? Elo Yitzvar Hachi. Yitzvar Hachi Yitzvar. Amar Gidlam Rav Zar Sheicham Echatas V'Ashal of Nezerika. Potter. Why is it Zar Potter? My timer. Tamar Kavachlu Samasher Kup Abraham. Call Heicha de Karina Bevachlu when there's a Shaykh Lachila. Sharkubar Bahan, they get the Kabara, then Kubin Zarlach Seichel, then we read the Pasik of Zar Shanit. Kaidash Leicha de Loi Karina Bevachlu, Samasher Kubar Bahan, Loi Karina Bevazar, Loi Kaidash, Adkan, Divrei Hage Mara with the, continues the Gemara. Amar Rav Elazar, Amar Yeshua. Bikurim Anocha Ma'akeves, to give you the Bikurim, it's the place to get down, it's Ma'akevahan. Kuriya ain't Ma'akevesin. Amar Rav Elazar, Hachi, really, Vachi, Amar Rav Elazar, Yeshua. Hefresh Bikurim, Gardin Lachag, Baron Lachag, what do you do right now? You're going to let them wrap. My lam, you shouldn't love to them, Bikurim. Says the Gemara, so same thing by us. It's not a new Svara. V'yisachadei Kari ain't Ma'akeves, to reading Zamakev. Amay Gravu, Kid Rav Zeira explains the Gemara. Rav Zeira kol aroi lebila. If you're shaykh to it, then in bila ma'akeves, you want to sit at one last dinner, boy. Then yes, bila ma'akeves, boy. Then the bila would be too much from him. We're going to stop over here by Rav Achal. Pick up from here. V'siyata d'shmaya.